So let's talk about magical ones now. Let's pick a different character. So it's very similar, right? The flat pen, the math is the same, correct? So there's divine with the flat pen, 12 flat pen. Then there's you know, the whole tree of the spear mag, 12 pen, 12 flat, deso, 12 flat, up 20%. So the same math goes when you're talking about the percent pen. Only thing that I would say to keep in mind is, I mean, it's really exactly the same when you look in the contrary. If you understand pen physical, percent pen and pen, it's the same thing for mages. So let's say, for example, I start off my build with Chronos Pendant, right? And then I go, I've seen some people do this, and I think it's horrible. I want to stop it. I see someone do this, right? It's kind of similar to the maces. Like, now now these next items have to have percent pen. Like right now, you hit a front line with Thebes, which they're probably gonna have Thebes by then, right? Or whatever, any type of prods. Let's just say they have Thebes. You have an insane power, but it doesn't transfer because you have no flat pen nor percent pen. So you're literally hitting, you're reducing your damage by like almost 50-60%. So that's why usually right after you build your Chronos, you'll see me go Deso, right? Or Divine. Because now you're in a good spot. Now if you hit front, right now this build hits harder than this build right here that I'm gonna show you, which is, and the other one has more power. And it's more consistent, right? So those are always things to keep in mind. That's why when you see someone also build Book of Thoth, right? I see this all the time. I see someone build Book of Thoth, then they go, let's say, I don't know, Kronos or something, Ethereal. Like no, you need percent pen, right? Right then, you need Divine, you need something. Or if the goal, you could also do something like this too, which is very interesting. You could also go coin here. Why? Because since you built Book of Thoth, right, that means you don't want to fight early, right? That's what it says to me. So if that's the case, why is it okay to go coin? Well, because it's the same thing. You don't really want to fight, and by the time you finish Book of Thoth, right, and you're about to you finish stacking it, and then you're building coin, right then it's a great time to fight, which means you waited out the timing of when you know, Spear Deso, Spear Magus, and Divine are very, very strong. So, and also when you're hitting frontline, which is probably the people that are going to be trying initiating on you in mid, right, that you crush them, right? So let's say I get to these two items here, and the support has Thebes, right? Which is probably the item that they're going to have. They have 50 of each prots. We'll say that the character has... Let's build this, and let's give him... Let's just say he's a higher level than he would be. But do I have to stack it to show? Okay, let me just do Mantle. It's the same prots. Okay. So, let's look at the damage on this build, right? Let's say you bomb someone for... Let's say the 300 base damage bomb, right? This is gonna do plus 10 flat pen. It's probably gonna hit for like, he's gonna have 100 magical prots left over, right? So you're gonna hit for like, your bomb's probably gonna hit for like 200 or 210 or something, right? Here, your bomb's probably gonna hit for like, you see, in these right here, he still might hit. It might be very similar, the damage, right? But once you add another item like Spirit Robe, this build loses. This build is literally useless. So let's say you fall behind, right? This build, you're cooked. You can't play. You cannot play. You will be zoned only by their Guardian, just because you greeded for Doom Orb as well, because you wanted high power. Now characters like Poseidon and Janus, this could actually work, because now you have insane power, right? You have cooldown utility. Now you can slot in an item like this, And why do I say the characters like Poseidon and Janus? Because what do they do better than any other character? They power farm. And when you can power farm and avoid fights until you get this spike, that means now you're the strongest character on the map right now. And anyone you crack in is going to explode. So there is little things that you can maneuver as long as, you know, you have a reasoning behind what you're doing. You know, like I said, this build too, you can do something like it feels really weird to build like this build right here and then just slot in like a Deso. It definitely does feel a little weird because one, the pen goes against each other, but Spirit Deso passive is good. But just talking about math, like this build is kind of weird. That's why I like this build, and then you can do, especially on Agni, because Soul Reaver procs on every bomb, you could do things like this. And now this build covers everything. You have 30% CD, right? You have 30% CD, you have flat pen, and you may be missing percent pen, but the thing about Agni is that he covers that with the HP with Soul Reaver, right? Every bomb is gonna proc Soul Reaver. Bomb, 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 gas, flame wave, dash. That's 6 ways to proc Soul Reaver. So with a specific character like Agni, you can build this route, and it literally kills everyone. Then you slot in Op Shard here. I prefer coin on Agni. Reason being is because when you 2-1, which is the best way to really secure stuns and be more accurate, your gas is gonna proc the Op Shard, which is very inefficient, right? But sometimes I like to go even Op Shard, and I change the way I play the game, right? I bomb first. I now become an artillery mage instead of a setup / artillery mage. So like I said, there's just a lot of things you really can't do, but hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope I you know, answered a lot of your questions. If you guys have any questions in the comments, feel free to ask.
When you should prioritize one from another?
When should you prioritize what?
Like
flat pen and percent pen. So there's actually situational things you can do when you're talking about prioritizing percent pen and flat pen. So let's say, and this is very interesting because this is very situational. So let's say I'm an Agni, right? I'm 3-0. I went this hyper early build with Chronos Deso, which is 30% CD, and you're really strong at this point, right? A lot of people will be fixated and just say, well, I need percent pen, I don't have it yet, right? Or Soul Reaver. You can greed here. If you're ahead, you can stack that that flat pen, and it's still very strong. You as long as you're ahead, right? Because if you're behind and you build Spear of Magus next item and you lose a fight at Gold Fury and now you're stuck at Op Shard 1, right? Or Coin 1, you don't do any damage, right? To frontline. All it takes is one Gold Fury fight for your team to fall behind, and then you're stuck on this build here. And now you have to defend Fire Giant, and this is what you have. And then a level 15 Emir or Geb or 12 Emir, level 13 Emir comes at you, and you do nothing. So that's why it's very important to understand when you're ahead and when you're not, right? So like if you're ahead, this is perfect, bro. You play off your lead and say, yo, I'm gonna go Spear the Magnus because I'm strong right now. I'm gonna take advantage of the passive. I'm gonna take advantage of the flat pen. I'm gonna take advantage of the lifesteal. Hell yeah, that's smart. That you're playing. And people are not gonna expect that, right? So when you hit a backliner with 2 bombs and they pop immediately, they're like, what the hell happened? You know, if you build Op Shard here and you hit 2 bombs on a backline, they're most probably gonna live. You change that, you're ahead, and you put a Spear of the Magus in the 3rd slot, and you double tap a backline. That's all Smite is about, and that's all MOBA is about. It's about having a little bit of edge and a little bit of reasoning why you're doing things and catch them off guard. That's all it is, because once players get good enough, they're gonna read you. They know your abilities, they know your cooldowns, they know how much damage you're gonna do with different spikes and different items, and that's why you have to throw curveballs at people, and this is how you do it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Oh yeah, and let me just recap on which items are the percent pen and the flat pen. So let's go over. Obviously, this is the tree, very similar to you know, the maces. This is all flat pen, 15, 12, 12, 12. Then there's Op Shard, 20% pen. Then there's Void, which is an aura, very similar to like Xe, but not very similar. It's an aura compared to Xe is a passive. Then you got Demonic, which is percent pen as well. Then you got coin and ob shard. Those are the two. I mean, I went over this, but those are the two big percent pen items. Very similar to Titans and Serrated. Then you have the Lost, Typhon's Fang, which is 10%. But unfortunately, the way the passive works makes it where it's never built, right? Because you need 2 other items for this item to be strong, and that's very weird because now you're stuck to a build. Warlock Staff, 10% pen. That's why it's one of the most built items right now. Staff of Murden, 10% pen as well. And then I think that, and Tahuti, 10% pen, and I think that's about it. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that, or learned at least one thing. That's all I hope for.